Hello students, welcome back to our channel. Students, in this video we are going to discuss a very important formula which is called Lensmaker's formula. Lensmaker's formula is from class 12th physics chapter ray optics, and it is one of the most important topics from your entire syllabus. This is a formula which gives us a relation between the focal length of the lens, the refractive indices of the lens and the surrounding medium, and radii of curvature of the lens. We will derive this formula first and we will see the significance and the meaning of various terms used in the formula. So let's start. The most important part in this formula is its derivation. Derivation is something which comes almost once in every 2 years, so it is a very important topic. So let's start. Let us say this is a lens, right? This is a convex lens. This formula can be derived from for convex lens or for concave lens. So we will derive this formula for convex lens. So this is a convex lens, and suppose a lens is kept in front of an object is kept in front of this lens at this point O, right? So this is a ray, a light ray which is emerging from O. This is one light ray which is emerging from the object O. This is O. This is the point where the object is kept. So this is a light ray which is emerging from O. Now when this light ray falls on this surface, which is the surface of glass, right? Because lens is made up of glass, and let the surrounding medium be air. In most common cases the surrounding medium is always air. So let us take this surrounding medium of the lens as air. So this lens is made up of glass, and glass is optically denser than air. So in this case light is going from rarer to denser medium. So what happens when light goes from rarer to denser medium? It bends towards the normal, right? So let's first mark a normal on this surface. Normal is a line which is perpendicular to the surface. So roughly this line is perpendicular to the surface, so we can take this line as normal, and the original path of this ray was this. Now this ray will bend towards the normal and it will go and it will go like this. Okay, let's extend this principal axis first. So it will go like this, but it would have gone like this if there was no second surface, but the second surface is also there. So this light will again bend on this surface, right? Because this light ray cannot go straight, because now again the surface is changing. In here the light ray was going from rarer to denser medium because it was going from air to glass, and on this surface light ray is going from glass to air. That means it is going from denser to rarer medium. And what happens when light goes from denser to rarer medium? It bends away from normal, right? So let's first make a normal on this surface also. Roughly let us say this is this is the normal on this surface, right? So this ray will now bend away from normal. So the actual path, this would have been the path of the ray if there was no second surface, right? But second surface is also there, so ray will again bend on this surface like this, because it has to go away from the normal, and this is the normal and this was the actual path of the ray, so the ray will bend away from the normal. So this is the path of the first ray. We know that any two rays, if they meet after refraction from the lens, then the image is formed at that point where the rays meet. So this is the first ray. So where we are going to take the second ray? Second ray will be taken along the principal axis. This is the second ray, right? So these two rays are meeting at this point. So this is the point where our image will form, not our image, image of this object will form at this point I, and at this point image would have been formed if the other surface was not there. So this is an intermediate image which is not visible to us. We will see just this image. This will be the final image that the lens will show to us, right? Okay, so how this all happens, this is the basic principle of optics. If you have studied optics, you must be knowing that if there are more than one surface is present, either they are reflecting surface or refracting surface, so what happens, the image of the first surface acts as the object for the second surface, right? For this surface, image is this, and this image is going to act like an object for the second surface. So then the final image will be formed. So we can say that I dash is the image of O and I is the image of I dash, if we go into more details, right? So to derive lens maker's formula, what we are doing, let's mark these. First, this is object distance. Let's say the lens is very thin, so ignoring the thickness of the lens, we can say this is u is taken from the center of the lens, but I am saying, let us say that the lens is very thin. If the lens is very thin, so it doesn't matter, either we take the distance from the center or from the surface, so that is same thing. So this is u, which is object distance, this is v, which is the distance of the final image, and this one is v dash, which is nothing but an intermediate image which is not visible to us, which is the image formed by the first surface. So but we need this distance in our derivation, so we are taking this as v dash, right? Okay, now we will use two formulae for the refraction on the spherical surface. Refraction on spherical surface these formulae which I am writing just now, these are part of ray optics before this topic, so you must be knowing this formulae, but if you do not know these formulae, I'll make you revise. So refraction on spherical surface, when light goes from refraction on spherical surface, when light goes from rarer to denser, when light goes from rarer to denser, when light goes from rarer to denser. So when light goes from rarer to denser, formula is what? Formula is mu1 by u minus mu2 by v equal to mu1 minus mu2 divided by r, right? And when light goes from denser to rarer, you can write that yourself because I am saving the space. Okay, I'll write it. When the light goes from denser to rarer, then the formula is exactly same. You just have to write 2 in place of 1 and 1 in place of 2. Here mu1 is the refractive index of the surrounding medium and mu2 is the refractive index of the lens, material of the lens. So when it goes from denser to rarer, this is the formula. So we are going to use these formulae for the first surface. The light is going from rarer to denser, so we will use this formula, and for the second surface, light is going from for first surface, light is going from rarer to denser, so we will use this formula, and for the second surface, light is going from denser to rarer, so we will use this formula. Okay, so for first surface, object distance is u, right? So we will use that formula. For first surface, object distance is u minus image distance is what? For first surface, image is not I, image is I dash. So for first surface, image distance is v dash. So it is mu2 by v dash equal to mu1 minus mu2, mu1 minus mu2 by, let us say, the radius of curvature of this surface is r1. If the length is symmetric, then r1 will be equal to r2, but let us not derive the formula for any special case. We are deriving this formula for a general case. So let's say the radius of curvature of the first surface is r1, and for second surface, for second surface, let us say the radius of curvature is r2, right? For second surface, let us say the radius of curvature is r2. The only difference is, in case of second surface, this is acting as an object and this is the image. So in place of u, we are going to put v dash, and v will be v. So mu2 by v dash, mu2 by v dash minus mu1 by v equal to mu2 minus mu1. Let us say the radius of curvature of this surface is r2. Now in final result, we do not need this term v dash, because this is nothing. We have to derive a formula in terms of u, v and r. So we have to eliminate this v dash. So how we are going to do this? We have two equations. Let us say this is our equation 1 and this is our equation 2. So we have two equations, and how we can use these equations to eliminate v dash? We can simply add 1 and 2, and mu2 by v dash and mu2 by v dash will get cancelled out, because they both have opposite signs in these two equations. So we will write adding 1 and 2 we get mu1 by u minus mu2 by v dash, mu1 by u minus mu2 by v dash plus mu2 by v dash minus mu1 by v, mu2 by v dash minus mu1 by v. And if we add these two and we take mu2 minus mu1 common, then if we take mu1 minus mu2 common, so this will be 1 upon r, but this will be minus 1 upon r2. This will be 1 upon r1, but this will be minus 1 upon r2, because we are taking mu1 minus mu2 common, but here it is mu2 minus mu1, right? So if I take mu1 minus mu2 common, so in the bracket I will be having 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. So now let's cancel these two terms, right? Let's cancel these two terms which are having v dash, and just solve the final result, and we will get Lensmaker's formula. If from these two we take mu1 common, and we write it 1 upon u minus 1 upon v, so we are left with this. And we know from thin lens formula that you have studied in class 10th also, 1 upon v minus 1 upon u, I'll write it here, 1 upon v, since 1 upon v minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. Here we have 1 upon u minus 1 upon v. So in place of 1 upon u minus 1 upon v, we can put minus 1 upon f, right? So if we put minus 1 upon f here, this is minus mu1 by f equal to mu1 minus mu2 into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Now if you cancel minus from both sides, so this will become mu2 minus mu1, and you take this mu1 on the other side, then you will get 1 upon f equal to mu2 minus mu1 divided by mu1 into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Now if you separate this and take mu1 in denominator of both the terms, you will get something which is called the Lensmaker's formula. This becomes mu2 by mu1 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, and we all know that mu2 by mu1 is nothing but it is the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. So we can write this as mu2 with respect to 1 minus 1 into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2, and this is the Lensmaker's formula. This is the Lensmaker's formula. Very, very, very important, not only for ray optics but for entire physics syllabus. If you have final exam, then you have to prepare this question because it comes once in every 2 years, in 2 to 3 years. So it is very, very, very important. So prepare it carefully. I'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, all the very best.